if I am able to tell you anything, or if you are able to understand anything, it is all because of this great man. It happened once in my life that I left BCom second year due to my health issues. And because of this great man, I was able to again get into college, and I did then MBA and then got in some good companies. So whatever I am going to teach, not only in this college or in other college, it is all because of him. It's my tribute to him always. So whenever you want to thank any program that I will be doing in this college, please thank this person rather than thanking me. And if I am doing something wrong, if I am not able to do or tell anything to you, it is all because of my incompetency. If I am able to do anything right, it is all because of this great person. Okay? So yesterday we talked about types of taxes in GST. Somebody will summarize for me. चलो बोलो फटाफट. Don't be glad.
GST is two types. One is intrastate and interstate. If the goods move within the city, within the state, the government will charge. We have to pay two kinds of GST, one is CGST and SGST. If the goods move between states, then we have to pay IGST. Or if the goods move between state and union territory, same, we have to pay the IGST.
Very good. चलो. उसके बाद give me an example. How do we charge tax? I gave some example yesterday.
Medimix.
Like if the goods are going from Hyderabad to Amity, then the GST will be charged as CGST and SGST.
Yes.
And if the goods are going from Hyderabad to Vijayawada
Not only Vijayawada, any other state.
Yeah.
or any other state, it will be IGST, which will be taken over by central government and will be provided to the interstate governments.
Okay? Clear about that? Any confusion in it? Right? And I've told you how it will look like in invoice as well, right? If it is an 18% tax, I've given you the example of soap yesterday.
Yes.
Let's take example of parachute oil. Okay? Oil, as of now, the present GST rate is 5%. Okay? So if parachute is moving within the state from one dealer to another dealer, the base rate will be written. What is the base rate called?
Taxable
value.
Very correct. Okay? So the taxable value will be written, and then below that CGST 2.5%, SGST 2.5%, and then the total invoice value come. Right? If parachute is moving from Hyderabad to Gujarat, so what will happen? Taxable value will be written, and then IGST will be added to it, and the total value will come. Clear in that?
Yes.
Any doubts in that?
No.
Okay. If you want to write the definitions, you can write it. I know it's very long. You have understood it. You write it in your own language, and you will get it on web as well. If you go on Google, you will get a number of definitions, and definition doesn't matter as long as you understood the concept. Okay? So we learned about CGST, SGST, UGST as well. Yes. Apart from that, there is another tax which is there in GST, which is not applicable to all the goods. It is applicable only to some specific goods. For example, tobacco manufactured items. I am a dealer of cess, NAS. Do you know NAS? वो पुराने जमाने में इतना डब्बी रहता था लोहे का, उसके अंदर पाउडर रहता है, नाक में लेके सूंघ तो छींक आता, नशवर बोलते हैं उसको. ठीक है? So I am the wholesale dealer for whole AP in Telangana. I have traveled length and breadth of Telangana for that distribution. Okay? Now only it comes to me, and I will send it to other party. So what happens is, if I am selling that tobacco to somebody else as well, try to understand. So till now what I said, I told you example of Medimix soap and parachute. On Medimix it is 18% GST, on parachute it is 5% GST. But on tobacco items and some luxury items, the GST is 28%. How much?
28.
So 28% is 14% CGST, 14% SGST.
SGST.
Or if it is going from one state to another state, IGST 28%. Till now it is clear?
Yes.
Apart from IGST, there is another tax which the government levies, and that is called cess. CESS. Are you able to see the first one?
Yes.
Right? So this tax is being levied on mostly on the luxury items. Why on luxury items? Or why on tobacco and cigarettes? Because government wants to demotivate people from using it. For example, if I levy more tax on rice, will only rich people eat rice?
No.
Every common person eats rice. If government increases the tax on rice and the consumption, thinking that the consumption will go low, it is not making sense, because it's a basic necessity. Everybody wants it, right? So government will keep the rate of tax on basic necessity items very low, and it will keep the tax rate on items that goes into luxury kind a higher rate. For example, rice has got 5%. In the same way, soap is not a basic necessity. If you don't apply soap, you will not die. But if you don't eat, you will die, right? That's the reason the slab rate of soaps or deodorants are kept in 18%. Soaps, powder, Pond's powder and all this are in 18%. And then another slab is, what I said is 28%. Now tobacco, government wants to demotivate people from using it, right? So higher the rate, people may not eat it, may not eat tobacco or may not use cigarette, but people will use it, right? So government says that, okay, bhai, it's a luxury now, you want to use it, give me more tax as well. Okay, so apart from 28% on cigarette or tobacco items, government also levies another tax that is called cess. Today the cess is 72%. Yeah. So if the item manufacturing cost is 100 rupees, till the time it comes out of the factory, it will be 200 rupees. 28% CGST, SGST, 14, and then 72% cess. Government does not want to, basically they does not want you to use it. Still people use it. Okay? So when the GST was introduced, I'll tell you again later classes how this GST is calculated and how we will get the tax to be calculated, to be paid to the government. I'll tell you that, don't worry about it. Although I've told you previously in the previous classes as well, how do we calculate it. I've given you the example that this is the manufacturer, I am one trader purchasing from her, and then I am selling to somebody else. So I told you, whenever I purchase the goods, whatever profit I take, on that profit margin the tax will be calculated. Did I tell you that?
Yes.
Another way is, on the base value, the amount of tax will be calculated and put, right? Mathematically, I'll show you later. When we arrange the board and chalk and all, I'll show you mathematically, it will be easier for you. So, when the GST was introduced in 2017 and post that, government what they said is, like CGST, SGST, cess should be calculated in the same fashion. For example, she is a manufacturer. She sold me the item for 200 rupees. Now I am selling it to her. So if I am selling it to her at 210, so on 10 rupees profit, 10%, 100% CS tax, 28% CGST, SGST, and 72% cess. On my 10 rupees, again tax I have to pay to the government. But later on, in amendments, what government said is, now at the base, at factory level itself, I will collect all the cess. So when she sells to me, I will pay her CGST, SGST and cess. When I sell to her, government will collect only percentage of CGST, SGST from me, and cess as it is will be there. Because one time only she has taken it. I'll again tell you. So when the GST was about to launch, there was rumor in the market that there will not be multiple taxes. First, which happened, right? Goods, VAT, TOT, service tax, octroi, all vanished, and everything came into GST. There was another talk in the market where people thought that government will take the entire tax at manufacturing level itself, and the traders will not have to pay any tax. But this eventually didn't happen. So she is also paying tax, I am taking the goods, I am selling, I am also paying the tax to the government. But what people thought happened in cess, this type of cess tax. So now, whatever tax is being calculated will be paid by the manufacturer directly. Okay? Now how government is calculating it? On the MRP itself, certain percentage has been fixed. On the MRP, whatever MRP manufacturer is putting on, what do you mean MRP?
Maximum retail price.
Maximum retail price, right? So whatever MRP manufacturer is fixing on and writing on the goods, on that MRP, certain percentage of amount will be taken by the government at factory level itself. She will pay for entire chain. but not for CGST, SGST. She will pay her 28%, I will purchase, and I will again pay on my profit 28%, she will purchase, she will again pay, and she will sell it to her, and he will purchase. Same thing happens. Every time it is moving from one person to another person, tax is being paid to the government. In case of CGST, SGST, IGST, UGST. However, in case of cess, multiple taxes are not paid to the government. One time the tax is paid by the manufacturer. Making sense? One more point, just to add. CGST and SGST is calculated on the base value or the taxable value. It's a major difference. CGST and SGST is calculated on the base value or the taxable value. However, cess is been calculated now on the MRP. So this you have to keep in mind. There is the difference between both of them, right? Whatever is the MRP, she will not sell at that MRP to me. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So when I am saying yes, no, maybe, I am sending the recording. My friends are saying yes, no, maybe. So I will not say maybe no. Okay? So now what happens? They will fix one MRP, and on that MRP they will calculate cess and they will pay to the government. Right? So MRP is different and taxable value is different. The concept is clear, crystal clear. Any doubts in it? Over? Should I go ahead? Sure. Next. BED. Somebody read it for me. BED is basic excise duty. A BED tax refers to a fee collected by city, county or other municipality for each night someone rents a room in the hotel, motel or other temporary lodging place. Costs to this charge are for those staying on the premises over the 30 days for employees of central government. So